Okay, today is going to be antigens, antibodies, and the ABO blood groups. All right. You guys have likely learned about blood typing, positive, negative, A, B, O, B. The blood bank is coming up to plant soon. Anybody doing that? When is it, Natalia? The 9th. So not next week, but the week after. So you got 2 weeks. So I remember when I was in high school, gave blood first time. Most high schoolers, that's the first time they give blood is at the blood bank when it comes to school. And they ask you for all your information. They ask for your consent. I don't think you need to have parent permission. You just need to be over 16. And they'll get your address and all that stuff. And then I remember that for me, they mailed me a little card telling me what my blood type was. They also tell you if you're positive or negative for any diseases. It's like, oh, you're negative for HIV. Okay, that's good. Well, what they're going to be looking for as far as if your blood can go to a prospective patient or recipient is your antigen. So I want to talk about antigens first. Antigens are on every cell and tissue in your body. The antigen is basically a self-identifier. It is how your body is able to differentiate what should be in your body versus what should not be in your body. When it comes to humans, we generally have a lot of antigens, but we're not going to go like super in depth with it. My brother-in-law is part of the transplant department at Tampa General, and he's trying to get a perfect match is really tough. It's more than just what I'm going to teach you, but you got to start somewhere here. So when it comes to humans, we have A, B, and O antigens. If you are of type A blood, and if you're curious about positive and negative, I'm going to get to that eventually. Don't worry. If you're going to talk about A antigens, for our purposes today, I'm going to represent an A antigen as just little triangles. Okay, that's all. Nothing complicated, just little triangles. So if Zoe or Morgan or Jesse said, I am type A blood, here is what every cell in their body has, not just their blood cells, everything, organs, cartilage, bone, brain, you name it. Every cell is going to have these little markers. Those are what we are going to classify as being A markers for our purposes here. So Morgan and Zoe and Jesse's immune system will be able to say, that cell is supposed to be here. I am not going to attack it. It's like having a press badge when you're on the sideline of a playing football game. If you're part of yearbook, you need to be down there to take photos. You have a little lanyard, a little tag on it that says, yearbook, I'm supposed to be here. But if Lauren just gets out of the bleachers and starts walking around the sidelines, they're going to ask her to go back to her seat. She's not supposed to be there. When it comes to B antigens, it's the same logic, except it is a different antigen. For our purposes on this lesson, we're going to make them little semicircles. That's all. So let's say that Sandra, Dylan, Lillian, they say, I am type B. Here's what their cells look like. And so their immune system will say, those are supposed to be in the body. They will not be attacked. Your immune system is supposed to only attack things that should not be in your body. Viruses, bacteria, someone else's tissues. I was asked once when during sex, there's like 300 million sperm cells. There's one egg cell. One sperm cell fertilizes it. So what happens to the other 299,999,999? What happens to all them? Her immune system destroys them because they have antigens that are not hers, that person's. And so her immune system does what it is supposed to do, destroy it. That's what happens. Now for the O antigens, trick question. There are none. O is actually 0. There are no antigens. So it's basically antigen-less. Therefore, his or her immune system will be targeting anything that does have antigens, okay? So just based on this so far, let's say that this is Zoe, and let's say this is Lauren, and let's say this is Mason. If Zoe got into a car accident and she's bleeding everywhere, she needs blood or she's in big trouble, which of these two people, Lauren or Mason, could donate their blood to Zoe and Zoe's body will not reject it? Mason, because the logic I've always thought of, there's nothing there to reject. If we put Lauren's blood in Zoe's body, Zoe's immune system is going to freak out when it sees Lauren's antigens, and just all her immune system is thinking is that should not be here. Lauren's intentions are pure. I'm trying to help out my classmate. She got in a car accident. I want to help. That's fine. But your immune system in your body is not based on goodwill and emotion. Zoe's immune system is going to do what it's designed to do, attack whatever shouldn't be in the body. And when you look at Lauren's antigens, that's a red flag, not supposed to be in Zoe's body. And so Zoe's immune system will attack it with antibodies, which I'll get to a little later. So that will not work. On the other hand, Mason should work because he has no antigens to reject.
Wait, how do you actually know what type you are? It's not like shapes.
We're going to get into that on Monday. The actual test that they do to determine your blood type is actually fairly simple. We'll do that on Monday. We don't have time today, but to be continued, all right? Now, as far as the blood types are concerned, you may have also heard of AB blood. What? We're going to get, it's RH, not RN. We're going to get to that. That's the positive or negative. Now, for people that are AB, this is the rarest blood type on earth. No matter what your race is, every race, the number is a little different, but no matter what race you are, it's always the minority. This is the rarest on earth. Here's what, let's say that Aiden was type AB. Here's what his cells look like. Okay, here's Aiden. D-A-N or E-N? Okay. All right. So he has B antigens and he has A antigens. So let's say hypothetically, Aiden is now in the car accident. Aiden is bleeding. Aiden needs a transfusion or he's in big trouble. Can Mason donate to Aiden? Yes, there's nothing there to reject. Can Lauren donate to Aiden? Yes. Yeah. Lauren has B antigens. Aiden has A and B. So ask yourself this. Would Aiden's immune system attack the B antigens if Aiden himself has B antigens? No, you don't want to be under attack by your own defense. And then would Zoe be able to donate to Aiden? Yes. Zoe has A antigens. Aiden has A antigens. Aiden's immune system is not going to attack A. That would be bad. So AB is the universal recipient. Who's the universal donor? Oh, that's right. So those are just the A's and the B's and the O's. But let me tell you about the positive or the negative aspect. Positives and negatives is called RH factor. And we're going to represent RH factor as just these little rectangles, okay? Now, if you get your blood drawn and you donate your blood on February 9th, if it's like anything when I was in high school, they'll mail you a little card to tell you your blood type. I think I'm B positive. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a long time. But nonetheless, if you have RH factor, what do you think that makes you? Like if you got a COVID test and was positive, what does that mean? You have COVID. If you're watching a football game this week and it says the Rams quarterback was given an x-ray and the x-ray came back positive, does he or does he not have a broken bone? He does. So if you do have RH factor, does that make you positive or negative? Positive. So if a person has RH factor, we call that positive. That just means that they have it. Just like if you got a positive COVID test, you have it. If you were positive for an X-ray on your arm, you have a broken arm. If you do not or does not have Rh factor, that's going to be negative. And so let's add to this a little bit. Here is Morgan. Can you guys tell me what blood type that is just based on my little diagram there? O positive is correct. Morgan is O positive. Here's Carson. What is she? O negative. Can Carson donate to Morgan? Yes. There's nothing on Carson's cells to reject. Is Morgan able to donate to Carson? No. So O negative is truly the universal donor. On the other hand, what do you suppose the universal recipient is? AB positive or AB negative? Here's let's say here's Julia. What is Julia's blood type right there? It's AB positive. Is there, if you were to donate A to her, B to her, O to her, or anything that's positive or negative, will she reject it? This is the universal recipient, AB positive. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass out an assignment to you. And I want you to first identify just all the blood types: A positive, negative, B positive and negative, O positive and negative, and AB positive and negative. But before we get to that, let's do one last thing. Let's see if you guys can figure this out. I did not do this with second period. I'm going to try it with you guys, see if it'll work out. I want you to stop and think. That is key for this. Don't just go blah. Stop and think. All of those are going to be the donors. Okay, and just copy it over here for the recipient. All right. Can A positive donate to A positive? Who else can A positive donate to? There's one more. AB, that is correct. And that's about it. This is going to get a little complicated. So if you have different colors, use them. If you don't, draw a different style of line: dotted line, checkered line, light line. You know, you got to be, this is going to get jumbled up. Okay. A negative. Who can A negative donate to? Both A's. Very good. And who else? Both ABs. Nice. Cooper, at least you're starting to get the hang of it. Okay. Let's keep it going. Who can B positive donate to? You're going to start to notice a pattern here, guys. Who can B positive donate to? B positive and AB positive, right? Okay. Who can B negative donate to? Both B's and both ABs. Again, see, it's already starting to get clustered. So that's why we're using different colors. Let me find a different color here. Purple. All right. AB negative. Who can they donate to? Just AB positive and AB negative. That's it. Here's a question that some of you might be wondering, or if you're not wondering, I'm going to pose it to you. Why can't an AB donate to an A? Because they have the B there. If Morgan is AB and she donates to Carson, who's B, the B's are compatible, but Carson's immune system is going to fight the A's that are on Morgan's cells. So it will not work out. All right, couple more. You get a different color here, orange. Who can O positive donate to? Not everyone. A positive, B positive, AB positive, and O positive. And now for the grand finale, who can O negative donate to? Everybody. It's not as complicated as I thought it was going to be. O positive can donate to any other Rh positive blood type. O negative can donate to everybody. It's not B minus. Okay, so the Maze has a question. Why can't, let's figure that out. So he wants to know, can B what? B negative donate to AB positive. Okay, let's take a look at that. So if I have a B negative cell, here's what it looks like. Those little semicircles we've already declared are going to be B negative antigens. Here is an AB positive person. Okay, now, Mason, do both people have B antigens? Yes. If this person goes into that, will the AB patient's blood react to it? No. So Mason, if you look, B negative, you are correct. So B negative can go to AB positive. And can A negative go to AB positive? Yeah. I believe we have that too. We already have that. So good call, Mason. Are there any others I may have missed? You guys caught? Can AB positive donate to AB negative? No, because AB negative would have antigen, or they would have antibodies. I have a line where? All right, so let's get rid of that. There. AB negative can only donate to AB negative. Sorry. All right. So let's take a moment here. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so this is what you should have regarding the various blood types: A positive, B positive, AB positive, and O positive. A negative, B negative, AB negative, and O negative. Now, I want to teach you the antibodies, okay? So let's go back. Actually, have you guys drawn in 7th period, whatever. All right, antibodies. These have an immune function. If you've had COVID or you got the COVID vaccine, you have antibodies for COVID. If you've had chickenpox or you've had the chickenpox vaccine, you have antibodies that will target chickenpox. You develop an arsenal of antibodies over the course of your life, and you have antibodies for every different pathogen that you come in contact with or that you get vaccinated for. So it is a Y-shaped protein. It is made by B cells, which are called lymphocytes. A lymphocyte is an immune cell. It's an immunity cell. And the main purpose of antibodies is to target foreign antigens. That's their purpose. They target foreign antigens so that your immune system can destroy them. So let's talk about how this actually works with somebody. And you guys can apply this to yourselves as far as ABO blood groups are concerned. We're going to, again, pretend that one, I'm just going to use names here. Let's say that Cooper, do you happen to know your blood type? Does anybody happen to know their blood type, actually? Olivia, O negative, okay. That's her. That's easy. There's no antigens to draw. So here's Olivia, T. Let's say that she wants to donate to Mariah. Actually, no, Aiden, you told me you know your blood type. What do you have? You're O positive. All right. So here's Aiden. We got those little RH factors in there because he said he's positive. Can Olivia donate to Aiden? Yes, because Aiden has RH factor. That means that you tell me, would Aiden have antibodies for his own antigens? Remember that antibodies attack foreign tissue. So would he have antibodies that look like this? Pay attention. This little part right here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let me fix that. This little part right here is like the binding site. Why is this not working? All right, whatever. It's not, my highlighter's not working, so I'll improvise. Those parts would actually bind to his own cells and basically signal to his immune system to attack them. So let's just say, hypothetically, Aiden had antibodies for his own antigens. It would look like this. And if that happens, his immune system is going to target his cells and destroy them. Is that what you want? Do you want your own immune system to attack you? So would Aiden have antigens for his, or antibodies for his own antigens? He would not. That would be very, very bad. So if he has RH factor, and that's the only antigen he has, what would he have antibodies for? Okay, he would have A and B antigens. That's right. Or not antigens. I'm getting tongue-tied too. He would have A and B antibodies. So check this out. What antigen would that antibody target? A's, because as we've done today, A's, we're drawing A's look like triangles.
So whatever the shape is.
Pretty much.
Okay.
What would these antibodies target? B. That's correct. So Olivia's cells have nothing on them. She's the universal donor. You're very popular at the blood bank. On the other hand, let's flip the script here. Let's say Aiden is going to donate to Olivia. Can he?
No.
No, because Olivia has no antigens. So what antibodies does Olivia have? She has, okay, hold on. She has A antigens. She has B antigens, and she has RH antigens. So what is the only blood type that Olivia can receive? She can only receive O negative. So you are the universal donor. You are very popular at the blood bank. But also, you only have one type of recipient. The good news for you, Olivia, is that O is the most common blood type on earth. So it won't be hard finding someone. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, if you turn the page on your work, you have the same type of chart, except now I want you to draw what the antibodies of a person would look like. So if you can look up at the screen, I will help you with the first one. Is the first one A negative? I don't have a paper with me. All right. So we have a person who is A negative. You can go ahead and draw their cell if you want, if it helps you learn better. I'm all for that. That is what an A negative cell looks like. Can you tell me what the antibodies of somebody with A negative blood would be? I heard Lauren say they would have Rh antibodies. That is correct. What else would they have? They would have B antibodies.
So we only have to draw the antibodies.
You can draw the cell if you want to help you out, but I would prefer that I definitely want the antibodies drawn in there, okay? You're basically drawing whatever their body is going to target. And you definitely don't want their body to target itself. So I'll give you a few minutes to get that. I'm going to pause the video. So sometimes in parents, mothers particularly, they can have a different blood type than their fetus that's inside. So let's say we have a woman and she's preggo, horrible pregnant lady. I can't draw pregnant women very well. Sorry. Now, here's the baby inside. There's a goofy looking baby. All right. Let's say that the mom is B negative. The baby is B positive. You're like, well, how is that possible? It takes two to tango. The father could be positive for whatever reason. And in genetics, positive is dominant to negative. So if the father was positive, it's likely that that would be passed on to the child. So the mother would have the following antibodies. She would have A antibodies, and she would have Rh antibodies. The child would just have A antibodies. So would the mother's immune system attack the baby? You would think, yeah, but here's the catch. You don't have antibodies for stuff that you haven't been exposed to. If I were to ask you, Lauren, I'm just going to say hypothetically, Lauren, have you had COVID? No. Okay. Lauren, have you been vaccinated? No. Okay. Do you have antibodies for COVID? You have never been vaccinated, just assuming, and you have never actually had the disease. So you've never been exposed to it. Why would you have a defense for something you've never been exposed to? You wouldn't. So actually, what happens is the mother doesn't have these Rh antibodies yet. What happens is her immune system identifies the baby and is like, the hell is this thing? What is this? It's like what we do when we get exposed to a flu for the first time. What is this? And over time, she will eventually develop those antibodies. And what happens is that first pregnancy has a higher likelihood of being undisturbed. So this baby is born. Bye-bye. But let's say a couple of years later, she's pregnant again. And it just so happens that this baby has the same blood type. Now, with her second pregnancy, does the mother have antibodies against the child's blood type? Yeah. And her immune system can travel through the umbilical cord and attack the baby. And so mothers will sometimes have to be put on drugs, immunosuppressive drugs, to stop her immune system from attacking her own pregnancy. Olivia? Would the baby's blood attack you? No, because there's nothing in you to attack. You have nothing to attack. You're O negative. But if your baby is something that isn't you, you could develop antibodies for it. And it typically happens in the second pregnancy. The first pregnancy, your body studies it and it learns how to fight it. And then it's ready for the next exposure. In this case, the next exposure would be the second pregnancy. You get it? Aiden? Because O is recessive, so the father can be O positive, and the mom's B would win, but the father's positive would win. That's the genetic aspect of it, which I'm not going to get into with you guys as biology lesson. Yeah.
Is this why people have miscarriages?
It could be. There's a lot of reasons why people have miscarriages. There's a lot of stuff. This is just one of the many, many pages. Yeah.
Does baby just survive?
It may not make it to a specific stage of development. Yeah. It could be, but like I was saying with miscarriage, there's a lot of reasons why some women have to be stay in bed. I know someone who had to be in bed for 4 months, the last 4 months of her pregnancy. What's that? I don't think it's very uncommon because there's so many different blood types. All right. So can you guys turn to the last 2 pages of your paper? Here's what we're going to do. You are going to match up a donor with the recipient, and you need to determine if it is an appropriate match or not. And I've done the first 2 for you. So I believe the first one, whoops. We have an A negative blood given to a type B positive person. Now, something that I forgot to write on top of your columns is donor and recipient. So on the left column, can you write donor? And on the right column, can you write recipient? On the left column, I just want you to write the cell with the antigens, which I've done. I've drawn a little circle, which is the cell, with a bunch of little triangles, which is the A antigen. Because this person is A positive, do they have Rh antigens? Or sorry, they're A negative. That's what I meant to say. So do they have Rh antigens? They're negative. Do they have Rh antigens? No, they don't. Now the recipient is said to be B positive. So they have B antigens. Do they have Rh antigens? They're B positive. Yes. So what antibodies would the person who is B positive have? No, and they have Rh antigens. Do you want them to attack their own cells? So would they have Rh antibodies? No, that would be bad. They have B antigens, they have Rh antigens. So what antibodies would they have? They would have A antigens. Would this match work? What would happen if you put an A negative blood into a B positive body? Would it be accepted or rejected is what I'm looking for? It would be rejected. So I want you to put an X. That would not work out. I'll help you with the second one, and the rest you're on your own. And bring back to me on Monday. And please do this on your own. No cheating, no copying. A positive given to a B positive. What antigens does someone who is B positive have? Oh, excuse me. Let's fix that then. There we go. A positive given to B negative. What antigens does A positive have? Antigens.
Or B.
No.
A and R.
There is no such thing as a B antigen.
Oh, I meant to say that.
You guys are kind of worrying me with your silence. Let's try again. What antigens does someone who is A positive have? A antigens and what else? Rh antigens. Good. What antigens does a person who is B negative have? B antigens. So here's the big part. What antibodies would you expect somebody with B negative have? A and Rh. So would this match work? No. What would accepted or rejected? So put an X on there. That would not work. I want you to go ahead and do 3 through 9 on your own. Try to get as much done as you can before the bell and bring this to class on Monday and we'll look it over. And then we'll talk about how Lauren was asking, how do they find your blood type? We'll do that on Monday.